Come to think of it, you guys have been pretty quiet so far this morning. Everybody fall asleep? Just checking.
Just taking it all in.
All right. Okay, no breakfast is the most important meal of the day, right?
Say they got it all, the simple life for me. Heading on to Kauai.
More of a southern view to your right there. A little further left, there's some waves in a round shape off of a peninsula out there. That's Tunnels Reef. There's a right and there's a wrong place to snorkel tunnels. I'll show you what I mean once we're closer.
Magic of the garden isle is calling me back home.
All of these areas now, as a result of the flood, have become unreachable except for by boat and by air. They had a choice though, the people that live up here, they could have evacuated or stay. I would say a majority stayed. They said it's like a throwback to this area 30 years ago because all of a sudden now the only through traffic up here are people living up here. I guess they've reestablished the road to the point where at least they can get in and out for groceries, gas, jobs, whatnot, but nobody else is being permitted through. See what I mean down there, KA? Sweet spot, but empty. Tunnels Reef, which is next to that boat up ahead of us, that was made famous from Soul Surfer. This is actually where she was bit for real. About a week after that happened, they ended up killing the tiger shark. The town next to it is called Hawaiian. That's the town that's all built on stilts. Let's see if I can show you why they call it tunnels today too. We might be able to see this. Water's more like 50 feet deep now. Same deal, that beach down there, pretty much empty. So tunnels is really a nickname. Just to the right of that boat down there, you're going to start to see these lines radiating around the reef. Those are tunnels in the coral, and because they surf right over it, that's where the name comes from. The real name is Makua. Pro surfers hang out in this area ahead of us here called cannons. This is where they do the tow-in surfing, where they slingshot them with the jet skis. Straight ahead of us out there in the distance, that's Princeville, that huge building on the cliffs is St. Regis. So really the first town that got cut off was the one inside that cove to our right called Wainiha. But if you look at that long beach up ahead of us here, look at the hillside on the far side of it. It collapsed onto the road. Turned a 2-lane road into a 1-lane road. We couldn't even see it for about a week after. That was all mud. The other thing that changed is Hanalei Bay, which is that curved shape up ahead of us. See the pier on the far side out there by the boats? You used to be able to park on that beach, but that road has been reduced to a sinkhole now. Still an amazing place though. That's all open now. Nice flat water. Beautiful boogie boarding and surfing. It's actually a pretty good place to learn to surf right now too. All lifeguarded. This is the North Shore, rainy side by the way. Good thing that bridge survived down to our right. If that had been gone, that'd be a game changer right there. Structurally, at least from the air though, the road doesn't look bad, but I guess there are some problems down there. And the pier changed too. If you look at it off to our left there, you can see almost the whole pier is sitting in sand now. There's very little water underneath it. Changed the shape of the beach. That was 50 inches in 24 hours. Calling it a rain bomb. All these taro fields here, these rectangular fields, this is how they normally look like. It looked like a giant lake. You couldn't find one from the other, all mixed together.
Marty, is that Hanalei Bay right on our left?
Yep, that's Hanalei Bay, you bet. And then Hanalei Town just behind it. It was closed for a few weeks, but everything's open down there now. You just can't get to this side of the bay called Waikoko, and we'll let you pass that side. Got a lot of sandbars out there too. That's why the surfers are having so much fun up here. So same color as the beach, but basically just sitting in the water, just barely offshore. It's causing the waves to break real close to shore, making it real shallow. It's good fun. You can see what I mean about the pier out there now. Definitely mostly in sand now. Now this is called the Waioli Valley. There's a waterfall in this valley so big, you can see it all the way from Princeville. It's a 2,400 foot waterfall called Namalokama. It splits into 30 different waterfalls on the way down. Just so you know though, that waterfall you see approaching to your right now, that's not it. Much bigger. This whole valley is riddled with landslides too from all the rain. The waterfall we want though, see that big one going into the clouds up there? That's the one we're looking for. And we'll get you nice and close. Been pretty lucky this morning so far because normally we don't see the upper half of the waterfall. There's still probably a few hundred feet up there. It's covered up by clouds. We'll get you closer. The translation of that waterfall is really easy. It means tightly braided. You guys don't need that though. I'm sure everybody remembers the Hawaiian name, right? Right. A little tricky. Namalokama. Just be glad I didn't start you with the state fish first. See all the landslides now? So what was the Hawaiian name of that waterfall again? I can just make it up as I go, huh? Alright, I got it.
Great.
Again, that's Namalokama. Oh, and the state fish, just in case you're curious, that's the Humahumanagranapoa. It's a triggerfish. So normally this altitude right here, this is where the clouds typically sit. Definitely seeing a lot more of it this morning. Was a beautiful view from here too, looking back into Hanalei Bay. Nice clear water. It was really brown for a few weeks after the floods, but it's cleared out nicely as you can tell now. Cross over this ridge, we'll go right into Hanalei Valley. This is my favorite river to paddle right here. You can go 3.5 miles on the Hanalei River before it's too shallow. Make sure you paddle past the bridge too if you do that, the Hanalei Bridge. It's the prettiest part. It's all nature preserve. You can even hike the valley if you want. See those power lines to our left? It's called the Power Line Trail. 13 miles and you can go all the way through. And we don't always see this valley this well. This is a valley that a lot of times is very rainy, but sometimes the clouds will drop right to the ground.
And the dream that you did to why can't well, I see trees of green and red roses too. I'll watch them bloom.
Usually by now the island feels a little bigger than it really is, but Kauai is pretty small. It's 33 miles by 25. Under 70,000 people live here. Oahu, that's over 1 million people out there.
Well, I see skies of blue and I see clouds of white.